Overcrowding in animal shelters is an issue that has existed for decades, and society is still searching for a practical solution that will solve the problem. In order to ease the overcrowding, our society must begin by understanding what overcrowding in animal shelters is. Often people just believe animal shelters become overcrowded because of all the stray animals found roaming the communities. In the journal Animals, Laura Manchetti reported that dog shelters in Italy are overcrowded because the rate of dog adoption is lower than the rate of dog relinquishment. Italy is not the only country where the rate of relinquishment is higher than adoption. The United States also faces this issue nationwide. Consistent with the journal Animals, Boise State University and Idaho Humane Society found that the United States has millions of dogs and other companion animals that are abandoned at animal shelters each year. A gap in the human-animal relationship mostly results in the abandonment of dogs, and for some, overcrowding means that they will have to live in confined space for the duration of their lives unless adopted. As long as people continue to surrender their animals, overcrowding is going to continue to rise and be an issue. Both advocates and opponents of relinquishment base their opinions on animal rights. The initial step into readdressing the long-standing issue of overcrowding in animal shelters that countries around the world face is to examine why animal shelters are becoming overpopulated. Studying any given animal shelter will not reveal why shelters are overpopulated. Exploring the reasons behind the animals being in the shelter could explain why so many shelters are becoming crowded. Without looking into these factors, it would be implausible to locate the dynamics of an overcrowded animal shelter in any community around the globe. A research study conducted in New York City and Washington, D.C. by Emily Weiss states that millions of dogs enter the shelter system each year, and in many cases, over half of those dogs are relinquished by their owners. Weiss suggests animal shelters are becoming overcrowded because of owners relinquishing their pets to the shelters. Although there have been many advances in stray animals and the housing of stray or unwanted animals, the history of animal shelters as a whole and why they become overcrowded needs to be addressed before a resolution can be made. According to Lila Miller from the ASPCA in New York, dog pounds are a thing of the past. Today's animal shelters are community centers that provide numerous public services. Animal shelters evolved from pounds, and pounds were originally places where animals and livestock were taken to be redeemed for a fee. Because there was a money value on the animal, they were claimed most of the time. But when pounds started collecting wandering cats, dogs, and other companion animals, there was often no economic value on them. Therefore, they were often killed. The ASPCA was founded in 1866 as the first animal welfare organization in the United States. Shelters, not pounds, slowly grew around the U.S. after the founding of the ASPCA. The sole purpose of the shelters was to provide public safety from roaming animals, and it was not until 1874, when the women's branch of the SPCA in Philadelphia that became the first organization to focus on the humane rights and treatment of the animals. The next image may be graphic for some viewers, but shows the effects of not helping ease the overcrowding. This photo is from Pakistan, where they found poisoning the stray dogs' water supply was the only way to fix this long-standing issue. Helping ease the overcrowding in not only animal shelters, but the streets, will help further prevent this tragedy from happening again. Based on the examination of the causes, effects, and the current effort that is trying to fight overpopulation in animal shelters, overcrowding is an issue that will be challenging to completely eliminate from society. Due to the various damaging effects of overcrowding, the overpopulation in animal shelters needs to be readdressed by both animal shelters and the American citizens. Many credible animal research organizations have long seen the importance of lessening the rate of animals relinquished, not only in the United States, but around the world. New approaches by organizations and even the government are necessary to further reduce the amount of animals relinquished and the overcrowding of animal shelters.